Hello and welcome everyone to Rocket Rabbit Commentaries. Dear God, we're doing Dawn of Sorrow.
Now this incredibly well-rendered anime intro features Soma versus Unknown Bad Guy #1 with giant fucking lasers and explicit memories of... Oh, that's Celia. Oh my god.
Now, for those of you watching this in Futureland, we're actually retaking part 1 because, editing fuck-ups.
What are you talking about, dude? We are experts here at Rocket Rabbit Commentaries. We value absolutely flawless recording procedures that don't require us to go back and re-edit whatsoever.
Said nobody from Brain Scratch Comms.
Well, Brain Scratch Comms, I don't know. You know, like... Oh, okay, so now it's the actual game.
Yes.
I mean, Brain Scratch Comms probably care about the same, if not less, than we do about our quality, but here we are.
Yes. About a year has passed since then, and I thought my troubles were over.
But no, the Disney theme park kept calling me back, with promises of thrills, entertainment, and cheap popcorn.
The latter of which was most certainly a lie.
Mina Hakuba, likely, a homage to Mina Harker from the original Dracula by Bram Stoker.
Perhaps.
Well, it better be, because, I mean, why else would you use the name Mina? You know what I mean?
To give it more of a Japanese feel.
But Mina's not a Japanese name. It's a European name.
I see Mina all the time in Japanese.
You may call me Celia, but not for long. Now you have to call me Evil Bitch.
Yes, and this will be Evil Bitch's main plot, summoning enemies.
Yeah, she doesn't even really attack. She just kind of uses her lackeys to attack you.
Hey, Arikado.
Arikado. Soma. Dasame. Oh my god, actual combat.
Yes. Whenever you start a new game, it automatically reverts back to default controls, and I honestly like to edit my controls so that my attack button is on a different button.
Well, you gotta be comfortable with the control scheme, of course.
Yes.
But your top screen is showing your stats, but it doesn't do that in the rest of the game. It's the Rock! It's the Rock Golem!
I think I'll actually be showing off the top screen a bit more throughout the rest of the game. Honestly, I don't know that for certain, mind you, because I'm not done recording it yet.
Wait, so she's trying to kill you, but isn't it her job to resurrect Dracula?
That's her goal, but the thing is, since Soma refused the powers of Dracula in the last game, she thinks that he will not be willing to do it in this game. She's right, of course, but for different reasons.
But, okay, so if this game was numbered, where would it stand in the entire Castlevania chronology?
At the very end.
So, 10?
No, there are more than 10 Castlevania games.
Really?
Yes.
Jesus.
Chronologically, this is the last game in the series, simply because of its timestamp and what happens before the events of Aria of Sorrow. And we still don't have the game that happens before Aria of Sorrow.
Oh.
Hello, Hammer. You run a shop. You are awesome.
Hammer? It's like, yo, somebody call in some items. It's hammer time.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that prompted that joke. So, okay, so Mina just got kidnapped?
No, Mina is not kidnapped yet.
So, what is the urgency besides the fact that mysterious Celia, now dubbed Woman Bitch, is trying to kill us?
Well, Will and Butch attacked us while we were out just roaming around and having a good time. So Soma perceives her as a threat to both himself and to Mina. You know, that whole male protagonist hero syndrome.
Well, you know, that whole summoning skeletons out of nowhere and immediately attacking you doesn't normally go over well between strangers.
True.
But I don't know how he controls an aria of sorrow, Gerda.
Yes, you do.
I-
You were there when I played it.
I kind of do. I remember the theme from that game very distinctly. You and your low damage output. It actually takes 2 strikes to kill skeletons at the beginning of the game.
Not anymore, now that I have the small sword. Or short sword.
Yay.
I have to remember that short sword and small sword are actually 2 entirely different weapons in this game.
You don't see these werewolves too often once you
Wargs.
actually get into the capsule. What are they called?
They're wargs. Almost all the enemies that you'll fight in Dawn of Sorrow are homages to Symphony of the Night. Well,
yeah.
not really homages, but taken directly from the bestiary from Symphony of the Night.
Those two. Yes. I remember them.
Yes, Yoko and Julius.
Belmont. Yay.
I don't know if we'll be doing Julius mode. I kind of want to show it off, but Julius mode is, in my opinion, much more difficult than Soma, simply because Julius can't heal himself without the use of save rooms.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, wait. Well, how does Soma heal himself?
He has healing items, you know, like potions, high potions, rotten meat, rusty food tins.
So Julius just doesn't like the taste, or he?
No, Julius can't. Julius cannot use or fight healing items.
Okay. I would say that go ahead and do a Julius playthrough, but only as long as it's different enough to warrant another playthrough. But if you're just going through the same environments over again, I'm not sure.
Alright, then I'll skip out on a Julius playthrough because, yeah, it's, the main difference between Soma and Julius in this game is that Julius starts with pretty much all the movement upgrades right off the bat. So he can go and fight the second form of Dario really early, thanks to the fact that he has access to the gravity jump.
Can you sequence break?
Yes, you can sequence break with Julius simply because he has all the movement upgrades. The only one that he doesn't have is flying, and well, that's because he's a Belmont and not a spawn of Dracula.
Quickly, to the first dungeon. You must escort me, and remember to use all the skills you've learned in the last 5 minutes.
Thankfully, Yoko is not actually your generic escort mission. She is never in any danger while you're escorting her for these brief few scenes.
Right, she's just a party member. So, like, she'll be tagging along and like, I'm moving as fast as you are and jumping at the same moments, but I am no way affected by the environment.
Indeed. Oh look, we lost Yoko.
Sounds familiar. Huzzah!
And Yoko has returned.
Oh, you need Yoko to break through the door.
No, we have the seal to break through the door already, but Yoko needs to explain why we need seals.
Just be calm and focus.
And here we have the first boss of the game, Flying Armor. Quick, throw bones at him!
Throw bones. Wait, did I just hear somebody speak?
Yes, Soma can actually speak when he takes damage, and I believe it's all depending on whether or not he gets knocked back from the amount of damage that he takes.
Oh, they really amplified the Japanese anime influence in these later games.
For Dawn of Sorrow and Portrait of Ruin they did. I want to say that Order of Ecclesia doesn't really have all that much of an anime influence. But yeah, Portrait of Ruin and Dawn of Sorrow definitely do.
Well, I mean, like versus the classics. The classics look. Besides the fact that that technical limitations would prevent them from, putting in advanced bit sound and character models that actually look worth a damn. But like even just like the feel and flow of the game, because I've never played the classics. I've recently been watching my buddy play an emulator on it on his phone of 1, 2, and 3. They seem to be a lot more like strategy based.
Yeah, there's a lot more strategy in the earlier Castlevania titles.
Yeah, mostly because they're fucking hard as all hell.
Yes.
My buddy can't beat Dracula.
In what game?
The first one.
Ah.
Oh, I mean, I knew it was fucking impossible. His main complaint is that during the first form of the boss fight, Dracula keeps spawning directly on top of him just to do damage.
Mm.
Oh, here. Welcome to the place that I'm gonna be in for the rest of the game.
Yep. Unfortunately, well, no. Yoko and Hammer are, right across from each other, and throughout the game, they'll actually give you bits of information. Like, Hammer will tell you that he's selling the UMA news articles, although he only sells the first one of each article. And Yoko will actually give you various information about certain ability souls and the villains throughout the game. However, I end up cutting most of that out, not on purpose, but because I end up visiting them a lot off screen.
Well, why would you do it off screen?
Because I needed to finish the grinding run. I end up doing a lot of grinding off screen during this playthrough. So yeah, we're gonna be missing out on a lot of the optional dialogue that Yoko has. You never actually need to come back to see Yoko, but I recommend that you do, so you build up your that you upgrade your weapons.
Okay, well, let me just clarify for the viewers. About what percentage of your playthrough was just grinding?
Somewhere between 30 and 40, I'd say.
That's a lot of game time.
Yeah, it is a lot of game time that I spent grinding. I mostly spent that time looking for particular souls, and that's really why I decided to off-screen it, because I'll show off and mention where I tend to grind for specific souls, but I don't want to show it on screen because it takes me a while. The soul drop rate in this game is completely dependent on luck and whether or not you have the Soul Eater ring. And since I can't even get the Soul Eater ring until after I think the first fight with Dario, or is it after Puppet Master? I forget what boss actually opens up the Soul Eater ring, but yeah.
Also, I noticed that you destroyed Hammer's fucking light.
Well, I need the monies for later.
Well, what if he was thinking, like, oh boy, today's the day I'm gonna finally ruin my light and make some goddamn money for a change. I'm gonna go do that. Selma, no! That was mine! The fuck, man?
Then we're stealing from him. Just like we will be for the rest of the game.
You motherfucker.
Oh, like he can actually use the money for anything. He's stuck in here with us.
Well, he seems to have some interest in having it because he requires it from you in exchange for items.
Yeah, but it's never revealed to us what Hammer actually spends the money on. Maybe he's actually saving up for a dentist appointment.
Or porn.
Or porn.
One of those things you would never tell anybody about.
Now, that's not entirely true. I tell people about my porn.
Yeah, they have a word for that. It's called TMI.
Well, that's an acronym, actually.
It's a word. It's an acronym, therefore it is a word.
I don't define acronyms as words. I define them as a collection of characters symbolizing words.
Well, yeah, that's their function, but as they are, without any expenditure, they're just a series of letters. And what are words but series of letters?
A collection of characters that actually translate into meaning?
Yes, I agree. Oh, so you couldn't see that poster until you actually got the ability soul that lets you go that far?
I'm not sure, but I know that you need flying armor in order to cross that bridge.
Was that the first student witch you had to kill?
Yes.
So, the first new enemy right after you get this far. Interesting. If only there was some significance to that. I also noticed that they turn into cats and they run away as soon as they die and they make that sound effect. Which I realize actually changes from time to time.
Yes, it does.
Well, how about that? We're almost at the end of the part, aren't we?
Yes, we are almost at the end of the part. In fact, it should be coming up in the next 20 seconds because we open the door, we go through it, then we kill the spin devil, and then we continue on through the next door. Alright guys, we will see you in part 2, which is, you know, the next part.